Ivan Toney is the biggest cheat in football. Once a cheat, always a cheat. Welcome to the 5 things we learned about Brentford 3, Forest 2. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are well, and welcome to the video. Coming up, we're going to talk about Toney and what he is. We'll be talking about the whole free kick stuff, what we learned from the game, what we need to sign, and are Forest in trouble or are things looking better? We'll cover all this off. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And tonight at 8 p.m, we will have Grumpy Old Reds, where I can't wait to hear what the boys think about the game yesterday. So let's jump into this, and we can only start with one prick. Once a cheat, always a cheat. Banned for 8 months for cheating. Sky moved the game by a week to get their golden boy in. Cheating. And what does he go and do? He goes and breaks the rules of football to gain an advantage on the pitch. Ivan Toney is the biggest waste of space on this planet. And on top of that, the Brentford fans are embarrassing. The fact they back this guy who told Brentford to F off. It just reminds you of someone who's in a relationship with the worst person in the world, absolute scum of the universe. And just because they are good looking, they'll put up with the abuse, with everything else. That is Ivan Toney and the 3 Brentford fans that are across this planet. They are in an abusive relationship. The Brentford fans know deep down inside, he wants to move on to bigger and better things. Just like someone who's going out with someone way above his station knows that when that next man comes round, she is gone, but they are just hanging on for dear life. They're embarrassing, he's embarrassing. How dare he move the ball? Moving the ball, fine, but then to add it by moving the foam and then cheating blatantly is not acceptable. And what happens? Absolutely nothing. Why? Because he's Sky's golden boy. You heard Carragher saying he basically gave him man of the match before a ball was kicked. They had to hype this one up through the roof, and there was nothing gonna stop them at all. Look, even on Match of the Day, when that idiot Williams got asked the straight question by Alex Scott, was it cheating or not? He did not even have the kahunas to answer that question. He is paid on Match of the Day to be a pundit, to answer questions. And what does he say? Well, you lot make up your own mind. Why don't you give us an answer? Are you scared? Are you scared? Well, I'll give you the answer. It's blatant cheating. Now, even though Toney's cheated, and there's no one, even the 3 Brentford fans can agree to it, the point here is Forest's reaction was annoyingly bad. Matt Turner, he can't set up a wall. He can't do anything right. He's just so lacking in confidence that he gives me no confidence in him. And I'm not saying Vlak's any better. We'll come on to the keepers in a minute. Ryan Yates smelt the danger, tried to warn Turner about it, but then himself dives across the wall instead of widening the wall. And then for me, the biggest culprit in all of this is Callum Hudson-Odoi. What on God's green earth was he doing? He was marking no one. He was 5 foot away from the wall. And then he just puts up a lazy leg. Go and widen the wall. You're doing absolutely nothing there. And the one who's getting away with this is Mangala, who gave away the free kick in the first place. And on top of that, the ref himself gave Brentford about 3 extra yards because the initial foul was further away. It's just a whole pile of crap, that goal, and it's got my blood absolutely boiling because this is happening week in, week out against Forest. Decisions, BS ones, are going against us. But this guy is an absolute cheat, and Sky still hiding behind his blouse, trying to give him the accolades and, oh, what a player he is. Go do one, Sky. Seriously, your Big Six agenda and your players that you want to see moved in this transfer window, because it's such a dead transfer window that you need some kind of name to move, some kind of big money signing to get everyone paying for your subscriptions. You're all a goddamn joke. But what do you guys think about Toney and his cheatingness? The guy who had to bet, who got banned for 8 months, comes back, shows no remorse, puts 2 fingers up at the Brentford fans, tells them that he wants to leave anyway. And those stupid Brentford fans are still there, freaking on their knees. All right, I'm going to talk about this, but I don't want to talk about it long because I am sick of this topic. I'm going to say a very simple statement. We need to sign a goalkeeper. I will forego every single signing for the next 3 years if Forest go this window and sign up a decent goalkeeper, a goalkeeper who doesn't make my butthole pucker up every time the ball is laid back to him, a goalkeeper who can line a wall up. That's on the Turner side. How about on the Vlachodimos side? A goalkeeper who will come out for crosses. A goalkeeper who maybe will save the ball once in a while. I am sick and tired of talking about goalkeepers. Now, a lot of people say, oh, he didn't have a bad game after that. He looked composed. I was still seeing him kicking that goddamn ball out into touch. His distribution is shocking. He takes too long to distribute the ball. He is too slow and he is too shaky-kneed for me right now. Forest need a goalkeeper as a #1 priority now, or we are going to have one hell of a tough season. Nuno's got us attacking. Nuno's got us scoring goals. But if we're going to be leaking them in left, right, and centre at the back, we are going nowhere. This needs to be addressed and needs to be addressed now in this window. That's all I'm saying about the goalkeepers, man. I'm sick of talking about them. All right, now that I've got that off my chest, let's calm it down a bit and talk about Forest pragmatically here. Are Forest fine or are we in trouble? That is a key question to kind of discuss today. And for me, I'm seeing so much good stuff on the pitch. Yesterday, I thought in general, Forest were really good until that free kick, of course. But we were dominating. We were pressing the ball. I've seen really stupid things on Twitter today saying, well, not stupid, but opinions, should we say, where people are saying that reminded them so much of Cooper and the style of Cooper and the result of Cooper. I don't agree with that at all. Yeah, I kind of think I know where they're coming from when they're saying it's a bit of a Cooper performance where mistakes cost us. But let's look at the possession. Forest, 50-odd% possession. Forest creating chances. Forest pressing higher up the pitch. These are all things we could only have dreamed of with Cooper. And what's quite funny is a lot of people that are tweeting this are Cooperites anyway. And it's like, so have you completely changed your mind? So we were right the whole time, were we? But anyway, that's a whole other debate. Now, these are things and these are building blocks that give me so much hope and so much potential in terms of where Forest can go and what Forest can do this season. But it all centers back to me on a goalkeeper. Murillo is starting to worry me a bit. Aerially, he's not very good. I still start to think what Dino said a few weeks ago, put him in CDM, probably is the safest option. And let's be honest, Forest were playing yesterday with, I would say, 5 to 6 of our actual starting team out injured or out in the AFCON. And we really did and should have and could have won that game yesterday if it wasn't for a certain cheat and certain mistakes happening in that game. There's so much potential to come from Forest. But let's be real, there's still the cloud of the PSR stuff, the FFP stuff, that Forest could be docked points. And we've got a tough run coming up. I think we've got Arsenal next at home. Then we got like Bournemouth and Newcastle and West Ham. All tough matches. It doesn't get any easier until March. But I'm not worried about these games necessarily. I'm worried about our lack of depth currently with so many African internationals out. You do have to question, did this not occur to them in the summer when we were signing players? Did they not think about the impact of the AFCON? Or was the thought process going to be that we will be safe enough and clear enough that it won't matter, or that we will just buy more players in January to fill the holes in, and then this whole FFP thing comes in? So there's no point in getting way ahead of station in terms of where I think Forest should be. I do think we will move up the table, But the question is, could Forest be hit with a points penalty? Or could Forest be hit with a fine or even a transfer embargo? And that's why I go back to the point of the keeper. If Forest get hit with a transfer embargo, then we damn well better get a keeper in this January, because that potentially could happen and we won't be able to sign anyone, say, in the summer window, for example. I don't think we're in trouble. Am I worried? Yes, I am. Because I think this FFP thing is going to be the make or break of it. If Forest get no point deductions, we're definitely going to be okay. If we get hit with 6, probably can still do it. Probably still should be okay. Any more than that, and seriously start clenching your buttholes, man, because it's going to be an absolute roller coaster. And we have some tough games coming up. We messed up some of the home games against the crap teams in the league, and we're going to have to go away to them and see what we can do. But are we in trouble? The honest answer is, deep down inside, I don't think so. But I got this nagging voice in my ear that is slightly worried. But I do feel Nuno will get the best out of us. But are you guys worried is my question. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so let's move on to our next point, and I want to talk about Danilo. And is he back to the old Danilo? Is he back on track? There were some really positive signs yesterday for me from Danilo. His goal was a thing of beauty. Yet again, completely ignored by Match of the Day. That was the best goal in the game by a country mile, and they didn't even bother even acknowledging it in their analysis after the match. But that to one side, I do feel he started off really well. First 15-20 minutes, he was brilliant. And then he kind of went into Danilo of this season, a few misplaced passes, etc. But what I loved is when Nuno just realized what was going on the pitch, reorganized it, put him in the 8, and he was absolutely sensational for me. In fact, he was part of the reason we scored that second goal, with his work rate and his press, winning that ball back and helping create the build up into that opportunity. But it doesn't, you can't just judge it off one game. I need to see a run of consistency now by Danilo. What I do like, and what I wouldn't have done, which shows why Nuno's a million times better than me, is I would have thought Danilo was up for potentially being dropped. Now, maybe because we are short on bodies, Nuno played him. Or maybe he's playing him through the bad patch, knowing how good he was towards the end of last season. If Danilo can continue to produce the form he did for the majority of that match, he will be back on track, and I am looking forward to it. I am really excited and almost impatient to see Forest, or should I say Nuno, fielding our strongest team. Imagine Taiwo back in the team. Imagine Alanga back fit, Morgan Gibbs-White, Danilo, Sangare, Dominguez. That, to me, is one hell of a front 6. Putting in the back there, maybe Niakate, Bolly, Murillo. We got options. Einar at left back. The team is all really good and has serious potential until, of course, you get to the goalkeeper position. But back on Danilo, that goal will do him the world of good. The goal against Blackpool will help him as well. It's good to see the old Cactus Jack guns coming back out. He needs goals, and goals will help his confidence. I still don't think he's the best finisher in the game, but my God, did he absolutely lace that one in yesterday. So Danilo, keep that mindset, keep that confidence level up, and hopefully he will go from strength to strength. How do you guys feel about Danilo's performance yesterday? Let me know in the comments down below. With reports getting very strong and heavy about the exit of Mangala, we will have a video for you guys tomorrow on this and a full transfer roundup as things are starting to move in this window for Nottingham Forest. But I just want to put that all to one side and let's play devil's advocate and talk about if he does actually go. Are we going to miss him? I think there are certain elements in his game that we really do need and we really will miss. I think yesterday he was the most composed on the ball outside of maybe Dominguez. His shooting still leaves a lot to be desired. And he did seem to play more in that 8 with Ryan Yates playing slightly deeper, which I kind of feel you got to do one or the other with those two. Either you play Yates as a holding 6 and then you play a Danilo alongside him, or you play Mangala as the holding 6 and then a Danilo. I'm talking about the players we currently have, obviously the Sangare, etc., still to come back. And I felt when we went into that balanced formation with him and Danilo in the 6 and 8, we looked really good and he looked really good towards that second half. But I do think we will miss him. But if Napoli are coming in and the offer is decent, now I'll go into the details tomorrow. I'm still not fully sold on it, but it just feels like he will go. And I think we do need him, especially in the squad where we seem to get injuries to key players when they come into form, like Morgan Gibbs-White, Elanga, etc. It just becomes a little messy, and Mangala will be important. But Forest clearly need to balance the books. And selling a player like him, if it earns us some good money, may be worth doing it. I'm still very conflicted on it though. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. That brings you up to date with the 5 things we learned from yesterday's match. Now, we'll be live at 8 p.m. tonight with Grumpy Old Reds. Please make sure you're there. Don't forget, we've also got the competition going on Twitter where one lucky winner is going to win the City Ground. They're going to win the Forest flag and they're going to win the Nottingham Forest gnome. You've got until Monday to get your entries in. So go check the tweet out on @official FFTV and make sure that you do all the criteria, like the post, repost it, make sure you're following us and Foco, who are sponsoring that giveaway. We'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Please don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you're new. And come on, you Reds.